Ricky Thornton Jr. had similar comments to Jonathan Davenport, albeit much briefer, given he was not on the podium, about why he didn't really have a chance to win the Show Me 100 this past weekend at Lucas Oil Speedway in Wheatland, Missouri. Roll this up over at stockcarreport.com. And Thornton was one of the favorites going into the Show Me 100 at Lucas Oil Speedway with a fourth place finish on Thursday night and a second place finish on Friday night, which landed him a starting position on the outside of the pole for Saturday night's feature. However, Thornton shared that the track not getting slick ended his chances of winning the race. While Thornton Jr. started second behind Hudson O'Neal, he quickly fell to third at the beginning of the race, with both O'Neal and Davenport setting a torrid pace at the front of the field. He had a hectic opening of the race, biking the car as he drove through turns 1 and 2 in the first lap. He then was hit by Justin Wells as the two were racing side by side going through turns 1 and 2 on the 8th lap of the race. I think the contact actually hurt Wells more than it did Thornton. Wells told DirtOnDirt.com that he broke a spindle and it made it much more difficult to drive the rest of the race, given the fact that there was like 92 laps still to go. Following a restart with 91 laps to go, Thornton was one of the few cars that went high coming out of turn 4, and he paid the price as Justin Wells zipped past him on the inside, and he fell into a 5-car race for fourth involving Devin Moran, Carson Ferguson, Bobby Pierce, and Brandon Shepard. It was a hornet's nest back there. It was like they were at the Talladega short track. Thornton eventually held on to the fourth spot, but would cede it to Carson Ferguson a few laps later. Bobby Pierce would then nab fifth from him a few laps after that. After another restart with 66 laps to go, Thornton would fall back even further to 8th. He eventually fell as far back as 9th. After a restart with 59 laps to go, he would make up a couple of positions in the 7th. He would then oscillate between 5th and 8th through much of the middle portion of the race and eventually finish the race out with a 7th place finish. I guess somewhere in there, he also made contact with one of the tractor tires on the inside that kind of crushed his nose in a little bit. So he had a little bit of nose damage probably midway through the race or so. In a post to Facebook, Thornton's team noted that the night was disappointing and that they just didn't have the car to win or compete tonight, and finished 7th after folding the nose under around halfway. Obviously, that being the contact with that tractor tire, as I was saying. They then went on to reveal that their Kohler Motorsports team is fortunate enough to still be the point leader at the conclusion of the Sunoco Road to Wheatland, which brings them a $2,500 bonus. And they said their hardworking crew is headed back to North Carolina to begin preparing for the dream. Ricky will make a pit stop at Mississippi Thunder to compete for a $100,000 payday with Rodney Sanders Racing this coming weekend. He will be in Rodney Sanders Modified. We'll be racing for that $100,000 payday. That will be on Flow Racing. Should be a good race to watch. Lots of people coming in for that massive payday for the Modifieds there. We did get some more information from Thornton from DirtOnDirt.com. He spoke with Kevin Kovac, and he said, "We just weren't very good. However, he believed if the track had gotten slicker, he had a chance at winning." He said, "I told the guys we were a 5th to 10th place car in the mud. They obviously finished 7th, and we were good enough car to win when it gets slick, and it just never got slick." So I think a lot of people might have had similar setups to Thornton. They were expecting the track to get slick because he's not the only one to have said this. We obviously heard from Jonathan Davenport in his post-race interview with Flow Racing, as well as his comments to DirtOnDirt.com following the race. Here's what he told DirtOnDirt.com. He says, "Obviously, we didn't set up for that. I thought it might get fast, but I didn't think it would stay there that long. It needed to make one more change. I think if it would have ever pushed the cushion off the top where we would have to start migrating back low, I think we would have been okay." So I think a lot of these guys were expecting the track to eventually get slick. They had their cars set up for that, and it just never happened. And that might be why they had a little bit more of a struggle than what we would have thought, why they weren't maybe in the front three, in the top three, as we have expected to see them throughout the year. But that is what Ricky Thornton Jr. had to say here. He was expecting the track to get slick. It didn't. And that's why he ended up being a 7th place car. He said he was a 5th to 10th place car, 7th place right there in the middle between that. But they will be getting ready to go compete in the Dream, and Ricky will be with Ricky Sanders this upcoming weekend at Mississippi Thunder out there in Wisconsin for that $100,000 payday. But let me know what you guys make of this. Let me know in the comments below.